The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, Rebecca Skloot. In 1951, a young black woman named Henrietta Lacks entered Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore with a painful tumor in her cervix. Without her knowledge or consent, doctors took a small sample of her cancer cells for research. What they discovered changed medicine forever. Unlike any other human cells ever cultured, Henrietta's cells did not die. They doubled every 20 to 24 hours, growing with astonishing speed. These HeLa cells became the first immortal human cell line, a cornerstone of medical science. HeLa cells were used to develop the polio vaccine, to study cancer, AIDS, and the effects of radiation. They were sent into space, cloned, and bought and sold by the billions. Yet while her cells changed the world, Henrietta's own name and story were forgotten. She was buried in an unmarked grave in Clover, Virginia, leaving behind 5 children, poor, bewildered, and unaware that part of their mother lived on in laboratories across the globe. Rebecca Skloot's journey to uncover the truth began decades later, when she became fascinated by the woman behind the famous cells. Her search led her to Henrietta's daughter, Deborah Lacks, whose life had been shaped by grief, confusion, and mistrust. Deborah longed to understand what had been done to her mother, and why her family never saw a dime from the enormous profits built on HeLa cells. Together, Skloot and Deborah retraced Henrietta's life from her birth on a tobacco farm through segregation-era hospitals to the laboratories that immortalized her cells without permission. As the story unfolds, it exposes the deep racial and ethical divides of American medicine. In the 1950s, poor black patients were often treated as research material rather than human beings. Henrietta's cells were taken at a time when patients had no legal rights over their own tissues. Her family struggles reflect the lasting impact of that exploitation: poverty, mistrust of doctors, and the pain of seeing their mother's body used in ways they never understood. But the book is also a story of resilience. Deborah's search for her mother's legacy transforms her pain into purpose. She learns that Henrietta's cells have saved countless lives and that her mother's story, once erased, is finally being told with dignity. Skloot ensures that Henrietta Lacks is remembered not just as a source of cells, but as a woman, a mother who loved dancing, laughter, and her children. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks reminds us that behind every scientific breakthrough lies a human story. Henrietta's cells made her immortal in science, but it was her family's courage and the telling of her story that made her immortal in history.